You already know what this video is about, man. Listen, last Saturday, Ilia Topuria knocked out Charles Oliveira brutally to win the lightweight championship, becoming the 10th double champ in the UFC's history. And I mean, everybody knew this was going to happen. Everybody said first round knockout. And I said myself in my video, Charles Oliveira has a bad defense on the feet. His guard is very loose, and Topuria is going to loop that shot right around it, and it's going to land, and he's going to go out. And that's exactly what happened, man. When he landed the shot and Oliveira fell down, I just put my head down. I just knew, I just said, fuck, it's over. I just said it's over. Because I just knew that he landed that. And I didn't even see how clean the shot was until they showed the replay. And man, was it brutal. That's the only thing I wanted, man. The only thing I wanted was it to be, a not brutal finish where Oliveira can, walk away, not that hurt, and, make it a TKO. And we couldn't get that. We just couldn't get that. And as, I kind of soaked up that loss, because we lost this weekend. We all lost. As a lifelong Charles Oliveira fan, it really signaled to me the end of an era. Even though the Oliveira has been over for a little while, this was the definitive moment that shut this chapter in Oliveira's book. Like, this chapter was always kind of still there, we were always like, oh, like we could see Oliveira fight for the belt again, but now it's done. Who knows how he's going to come back after a loss like that, where Oliveira is the marauding type, where he is, the guy to put on that aggression, that forward pressure. If he's not able to have confidence in himself, in his chin, then he's not going to be the same fighter. And I just hope he can pick up a couple of crafty wins and retire before damage catches up to him fully, because he's taking a lot of damage. So let's talk moving forward for Charles Oliveira. I got this matchup right here. Gamrot, look, this is an approachable fight for Oliveira. Gamrot's got some pop on the feet. He's got the wrestling. I could see Gamrot just smudging him for 5 rounds, because this should be a 5-rounder. But I can see Oliveira not taking too much damage on the feet and just, submitting him. Or, getting taken to a decision. Anything but a power striker. Like, the last thing I need right now is a fucking Justin Gaethje rematch. Or an Arman Tsarukyan rematch. That, we don't need that, alright? We need the low danger matchup. Fucking get Grand Dawson up in here, man. And another person is Max Holloway. If he wins that Poirier fight, we could look at this one. They'll probably be on similar timelines, and I still don't like this fight for Oliveira. I am terrified for his chin, and yeah, it's been really, really, really sad for me, honestly. After I left the movie theaters, I was like, fuck, this is how the sport goes. You can't have a sweet moment. But let's just take this time to kind of look back on Oliveira's career. So this is his breakout performance against Kevin Lee, where he submitted him in the beginning of COVID, left him crawling after him. This was a really cool win, man. He showed his striking, he showed his grit, he toughed it out, and they fought for a good 3 more than half the scheduled bout, and Oliveira looked damn good, man. And that guillotine was money. That was money. Now, on to what many people think that is the signature performance for Charles Oliveira, the Tony Ferguson fight. Well, look, he did a number on Tony Ferguson, and he busted it up. He grappled him. He put that armbar on him and just dominated Tony. Tony had nothing in this fight, and Oliveira showed levels, man. He looked so good. That armbar was one of the craziest submissions in UFC history, and yeah, man, another cool moment. Doesn't get cooler than this, though. The title win against Michael Chandler. He was supposed to be the cannon fodder in this fight, and he almost was. Chandler came out, and he hurt him early, and he put it on Oliveira. But Oliveira came out the second round, flipped the switch, put it on Chandler, and knocked him out. And this was a really sweet moment, and nobody knew at the time. Everybody was kind of focused on This was 262. Everybody was focused on UFC 264, the McGregor-Poirier trilogy. Everybody was like, oh, like, this isn't the real championship. Like, you know, McGregor-Poirier, that's the real title challenger. So it made it even sweeter when he shut everybody up and submitted Dustin Poirier in the 3rd round. Faster than Khabib, by the way. I'm still holding on to that. I'm still coping. But, yeah, this was one of my favorite Oliveira performances. It's a really underrated fight because Poirier came out hard. He came out fast and heavy, and he landed plenty of shots on Oliveira. Oliveira just took him, went to war with him, hit him with knees, his body, teeps, and, you know, put that pace on him. And by the 2nd round, Poirier was, you know, he was like, whoa, let me take a breather. That's how Oliveira was able to get him down. And by the 3rd round, Poirier was looking tired. He was looking like he didn't want to be there. He was looking roughed up. Oliveira climbed him like a fucking spider monkey, and it was over. And, yeah, man. You know, looking at that Poirier fight made me realize a few things about these fights. But let's go over the good moments first, all right? Gaethje fight. Now, this is one of the best fights in UFC history. If you don't like this fight, you're not an MMA fan, okay? Gaethje came out, home crowd. They robbed Oliveira of his belt over half a pound when everybody else was half a pound over. Oliveira just had to get stripped, and, yeah. He came out with a point to prove. He didn't come out with a chip on his shoulder. He came out with the whole bag on his shoulder, right? He was ready to walk through anything, and he walked through some bombs. The overhands of Gaethje, the uppercut. He ate everything, and just Gaethje was just flustered. He, you know, he turned into Rufus. He went back into that kill or be killed mode, and he was killed. And I'm just gonna say it now. Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje both fought stupid, retarded against Charles Oliveira. Like, I know that they don't have Poirier's accuracy and power, but come on. How are you gonna, you know, like, how are you Dustin Poirier, a jiu-jitsu black belt, and not going on the ground with Oliveira? You know? How are you Gaethje throwing big looping shots, winding up from fucking all the way from Narnia, hoping to hit Oliveira? Like, are you dumb? Anyways, alright. Now, after this, we know what happened. Actually, it didn't happen. It's AI, but the head kick heard around the world. Oliveira's head kick on Benil Dariush. This was like, we're so back. This is the we're so back moment of 2023. When Oliveira jumped on that weak ass card. What was it? No, what was the card? 279? No, this was after 280. What am I talking about? No, 289. Yeah, UFC 289. And this was the people's main event because it was fucking Nunes versus Irene Aldana in the main event. Like, what the hell is even that? But this was the real main event, and he delivered, man. Everyone's saying Benil's, you know, he's a hard matchup, man. He's a hard matchup. The head kick was harder. And, yeah, man, the rest is history. That was a sensational finish. Oliveira got on the mic after and was just... Yeah. My name Big the Bronx. Hello Canada. That was such a sick moment. The champion has a name, and it's Charles Oliveira, brother. I would still have that video saved on my Instagram. One of my favorite moments in UFC history. Probably the favorite moment. It's just dope. Yeah, man. UFC 300. Now, this was another sick moment from Oliveira. Oliveira's just so tough, bro. Even though he's completely auraless now, he's still so tough. And one of the best fight cards of all time, he was able to put up a close fight against, you know, the up-and-coming grappler. Some people think he won this fight. I don't think so. I think Arman negated his, you know, ground game very well, and he was able to land really good ground and pound on Oliveira, which nobody really does. Nobody talks about that. Arman busted up Oliveira in this fight, and yeah, but this submission had me creaming my panties, man. I was watching live with my friend who was an Arman fan, and we went wild. I was like, let's go, Charles, let's go, put it on him. And I thought he was gonna get it, but yeah, you know, really close fight. and it showed that Oliveira tenacity, that ability to jump on a sub and just make it happen, even though he didn't make it happen here. And lastly, we got the last fight against Chandler. Now, this was cool in a way where it's like, oh, Oliveira's improving his patience, his defense. He's fighting at range, picking his shots. I was like, whoa, this is an evolved version of Oliveira. And then he got hit by the same right hand, and I was like, okay, well, damn. And honestly, that performance against Chandler, it's pretty technical, but you just see where Oliveira's downfall comes, where he gets caught, and he got caught there in this fight as well. Against Chandler, Chandler's so shit. He's so bad at fighting. And I mean, from that moment, we should have all known that it just might have been Joe over there. And yeah, I know this video is just me coping and reminiscing, but I just had to put it out there, man. Like and subscribe.